Kvarøy is a small island located on the Arctic Circle in Norway. There are 70 people living here. The main industry in Kvarøy is salmon farming. My name is Alf Göran Knutsen and I'm working for Kvarøy Fiskeoppdrett. Kvarøy Fiskeoppdrett is a third-generation salmon farm. The company was started in 1976 by the Wholesome family. The grandfather, who was a fisherman, as a hobby he started farming salmon on the side, and the hobby took over and became the main business for the family.
I've been working full-time here since 2009, but I've been working here with my father since I was 5 or 6 years old.
Everybody is producing the same type of salmon, and me and Gjermund have discussed this, and we want to do something more sustainable. We want to make a fish that is more healthy and better for everybody. We are located in the best area in Norway for salmon farming. The farms are 30 to 40 minutes by boat from the island. We have a temperature that varies from 5 to 14 degrees, and that's optimal for producing salmon. The sites are also good because of the fjord system in Norway. The fjords are very deep. Under our sites it's 120 meters deep. There's more current. The fish gets more exercise.
It's a good sign when you see the salmon is jumping off the ocean like this, because it's first of all you see they are active, and also then they are healthy. This is a natural behavior for the salmon in the wilderness.
In deeper waters, the effects of salmon farming are neutralized. The pressure on the environment is kept under control when the current is moving all the activity around the farms.
As salmon farmers, we are trying to mimic the way that nature does things. The ocean is the natural habitat of the salmon. Clean Norwegian water just flowing through the pens naturally. That's the best way to farm salmon.
So this is a typical one of our nets. It's made for the big fish, so it has a bit bigger holes in it. And then you have the walls of the nets that are 15 meters deep. And this part of the net is to prevent the salmon from jumping out of the pens. Before we start using a site, we computer simulate everything. How the forces of nature is going to impact each pen on the location. Before each production we have to send them to a certified shop that repairs them, and also they do a lot of strength testing around the whole net just to see that the net is as strong as it's supposed to be, and that is to make sure that no salmon can escape, and also that the forces of nature can't do anything to damage the nets. The sunlight glows on the net just like they do in the rest of the ocean, and then algae attaches to the net, and then it grows so much that the nets can get the whole holes will be filled in and the fish will suffocate. So you have to keep the nets open at all times to have a good flow through of water through the nets.
Salmon industry is using copper treatments on the nets for the same reason that the ships use them on the paint they use under the boats. It's to prohibit the growth of algae on the nets. Copper is a toxin in water systems, so copper treatment is not good for the environment.
What's special about it is that this is not copper treated. We only have a type of wax treatment, natural wax treatment, and it's just to prevent the net from growing too much. We hired a specialized team of divers, and they go into the nets and they power wash the whole nets. And at the same time they inspect the nets for holes and see that the fish is okay and that everything is okay, so that the fish has good conditions in the pen. This is one of our lump suckers, and these are the one that is eating the sea lice of our fish.
One of the biggest problems in the salmon industry today is the salmon sea lice. Most farmers use medical treatment to treat for the sea lice to get rid of it. Salmon treatment is banned in the United States, and the Alphamax is really not efficient, so and the Lice is not efficient either, so we don't use any of those treatments. We feel that we want to make a product that we can be proud of and that we can feed our children safely. Our method of controlling the sea lice is that we are using the lump sucker. We have our own hatchery for lump suckers. What's good about farmed lump suckers that we use is that we are not depending on fisheries of wild wrasse. Salmon industry is using wild caught wrasse, and they are really small fish, and we are taking out a big number, so we are having some concerns about the sustainability of the wrasse fisheries. It's much better to farm our own lump suckers.
Here is the feed for our salmon. In here we have roughly 40 tons of salmon feed, and at the rate we are feeding now we have feed for about 10 days.
All of the fish meal and fish oils that is used in our salmon feed come from sustainable fisheries. More and more we're using vegetables in our feed to reduce the reliance of marine proteins. The outtake of industry fish on world basis that they produce the fish meal from, the quotas are at their maximum now. Fish meal can't really grow in the world, but at the same time the population in the world is growing and the need for more protein sources is growing all the time. So that's why we are shifting from using marine proteins and using vegetables to feed our salmon. Because of human activity, PCB and dioxins is everywhere in the ocean. All wild fish that are living in the ocean has some levels of PCB and dioxins in them. And when we are using wild-caught fish to produce fish meal and fish oil for the salmon feed, we are getting some of the PCBs and dioxin with us into the feed. But when we are producing a salmon feed that has more vegetables and less of the marine proteins and fat, we are able to reduce the amount of PCB and dioxins in our fish. We do not use any GMO ingredients in our feed for the salmon. If you do it the right way, the salmon gets all the nutrition it needs, and at the same time we are doing something good for the environment.
Color is not so bad. Yeah. Very good.
The red color in the salmon comes from an antioxidant called astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is a natural antioxidant, and it's the same substance that make shrimps and lobsters red. In the nature, the fish gets it from krill, the bigger fish gets it from shrimps and crustaceans. A normal salmon feed is produced with chemically produced astaxanthin. But we are trying to make the process more natural, so we are giving our salmon the antioxidant astaxanthin from a yeast derivative that's called panaferd. We have always had an idea that we would like to produce a salmon of a higher quality and with better sustainability. The collaboration between us and Changing Seas is very good because all parts of this collaboration has the same kind of ideas that we have. We are following the highest standard in the fish farming industry.
The philosophy of the family is that they want to live on this island and produce activity on the island. That is my goal also. This family company is not gonna sell out. I'm 100% sure about that.
Well, everybody would like to do a good job when they are having a job. It's their pride, I guess. I'm proud of the work I do.